Good morning. Well, welcome, bienvenidos, bem-vindos to our fourth annual MasterCard Innovation Forum. Before I get started, let me kind of share a little bit of, emotions, if you will. It's a very powerful room, I would say, looking from here. More than 400 people, I would say. The whole Latin America payments industry is inside this room. So I guess there's a lot of power here and a lot of power to transform things as we move forward. So really feel, a lot of responsibility on our shoulders as we walk you through over the next 2 days. But thank you for joining us. And I realize that many of you had to travel from your places to come over here. So we really appreciate that you made the effort to be here. And I'm excited to tell you that we have a very exciting agenda to cover with you over the next 2 or so 3 days, depending on the way you you look at it. The agenda of the conference this year revolves around the most influential forces that are shaping our industry today. And I think you would agree with me what kind of forces I'm talking about. I'm talking about technology and innovation. I think, the way technology and innovation are transforming our world is profound. Together, they transform how governments run nations, if you will, how we interact with each other. I guess, you're interacting with each other in very different ways than you used to interact in the past. How people interact with their devices. There's more people looking into the devices than, talking to each other, and many other devices around them. And how we do business, of course. That's fundamentally different, and not by coincidence, if you will, how people pay for things, which, we're gonna talk a lot here. So with all this evolution underway, I think we must not only to be on top of this transformation, but we need to be a kind of a step ahead. It's not enough to think about today. We gotta think a little bit more about the future, and that's exactly why we are here today, and we'll be here over the next 2 days to discuss exactly, how we build the foundation of the future of commerce. And I guess we all have a lot of interest on that. So we're talking about a future in which our technology should help connect consumers with merchants around the world, develop connected cities so we can make travel and transit life a little bit easier and more efficient. That, you sure know they are not, easy and efficient today. And primarily also to connect those that are excluded from the main financial or the financial mainstream and make them part of the formal economy, if you will. And also to connect with startups and entrepreneurs whose great minds and creativity can use our technology for the next big thing, if that is possible. But I would say going in that direction. And first of all, and most important of all, to connect with all of you to build consumer preference, loyalty, develop new solutions that will prepare ourselves for the future, and to ensure that all of that happens safely, securely, and simply. And I think you would agree with me, if we don't make safe, secure, and simple, then probably it will not matter. So that brings me to the theme of this conference. So during the course of this conference, we will hear from many distinguished speakers. Not myself. I'm not a distinguished one. I'm just kind of opening up the floor. But you're gonna hear from the Colombia former Minister of Information. You're gonna hear from a few companies that I'm sure you probably heard of before, names such as Google, Uber, Microsoft, and many others that will be here talking to us. But we'll also be hearing from some of you that, present success cases and stories that we work together to bring to life in our marketplaces across Latin America. And additionally, for the first time on this event, we have a big surprise, and I think, around noon, right? You'll be surprised. We're putting together a hackathon throughout this conference as well. And it's not just any hackathon. This is one where we put together developers of the region and we task them to develop a solution to include the excluded people. So you're going to see them working and then, present solutions to us. They will be working for about 24 hours, right, Daniel? So all these, speakers, all these activities will allow us to open the dialogue and share with you consumer trends that we need to be aware of, a better understanding of the expectations of the evolving consumer. I think you would agree with me that the evolution of consumer needs and expectations has been changing dramatically as we go through this world of technology and information. And then how we rethink how we engage them in commerce and, share those, key advances, if you will, that we are making in payment technology and, areas in which we can collaborate and work it together. Because in this world of, technology and innovation, we cannot do it alone. And that brings, to talk a little bit about something that is dear to our company's heart and also to my heart, which is, talking a little bit about the power of connectivity and the power of partnerships. I think we need to partner for success and create compelling solutions that, as I said before, provide safe, simple, and smart consumer experiences. And, let's not forget, and then you probably know these numbers much better than I do, but consumer touch points will only continue to grow. By 2018, there will be 18 billion devices in use globally. It's just around the corner, 18 billion. So we are talking from PCs, smartphones, tablets, connected TVs, wearables, connected cars, and so on. And so how consumers view technology will continue to evolve. They will increasingly expect that we make their lives easier, that we give them more control, we give them more choice and more benefits, and then we allow them to decide how they want to initiate payments, right? You cannot force them how they do it. They will have more choices. We have to provide them more choices, and we have to provide more opportunities for them to initiate their payments. And then, this increased connectivity will demand us to be ready, right? By making sure that any device, any connected device is a payment device. If you heard, of course, you heard us talking about this before. So, a few key facts that I want to also kind of share with you this morning. Although, you might be saying, well, but digital payments are still small, right? They are, a small percentage of the overall payments industry. Well, what I want to tell you is that they will grow, and they will continue to grow exponentially. And we expect that, by 2020, it will be around 6 to 7 trillion US dollars in digital payments. So it's growing fast, and is really, taking, a big growth trend, if you will. So, with all this growth, we need to be ready for, and conscious of the needs of this digital consumer. It's a different consumer, and the way we engage with them is going to be crucial for our business, not just, because it makes business sense. We have a study that MasterCard advisors did that the digitally connected consumer spends 10 times more than the ones that are digital inactive. So it makes business sense and also has major implications, for us on the payments industry, but for the mobile operators, for the digital giants, for anybody that wants to have a role in reshaping commerce. So kind of, different world and different things that if we work together, if we partner, we can do more and we can do it faster. I believe there's at least, three big things that happen. There are things that, if we work together, should happen. First of all, I think by partnering up, we kind of, have the ability to move it faster. At least we'll move it faster than, trying to do it alone. Second, I think, the ability to drive scale, to solve, for big problems, and to drive mass solutions as opposed to kind of, little hobbies, if you will. And then, the ability to deliver solutions that would be very hard for any one of us to develop alone. So the power of, partnering, the power of, connecting, it's, provides, I would say, the foundation for, great ideas to flourish. And they will flourish from, big goals, if you will. And I think there are many, many opportunities for us to partner and with all of you that have been our financial partners and trusted financial partners for many years, with governments to expand faster financial inclusion, with the new players, the digital giants, in order to reach more consumers that are engaged with them, with startups in order to uncover innovation. I think you would agree with me that there's a lot of innovation is coming out of startups, and we are currently doing a lot of that with programs such as MasterCard Star Path, that you're going to hear more about it today as speakers come up and talk a little bit, with the developers to help them to build the next big thing, and with other industry players that can help us to build some competitive advantage by either incentivizing loyalty, leveraging the use of big data, enabling new devices to create the payments of the future. So lots of opportunities, and I think if we do this, we'll be able to create interoperable solutions and help people to interact, transact, and exist as part of this global community that we are in. So MasterCard is and will continue to be an organization highly focused on innovation. And this is not, something new, if you will. In our kind of, history over the last almost 50 years, we'll be celebrating 50 years. This has been kind of, on the core of what we do and what we pursue. So our focus on looking ahead and seeking to innovate for the needs to come is kind of, what set us apart and will continue to set us apart going forward. So as a technology company that, we are more and more a technology company, we think digital. And we are actually creating the foundation for what to come or what to happen. So we have been focusing in growing contactless, which is kind of, the next wave of payments, as you will agree. So right now, our contactless acceptance is over 3 million merchants and over 70 countries and spending. And in Latin America, we have a collective effort to kind of, spreading out NFC acceptance, because it's going to be crucial for the future. So I kind of, urge you to think about and, look into that, because this is here to stay. And then, we are developing products and solutions that reflect that need of people to transact anywhere and to transact in any device. Solutions such as MasterPass that gives consumers the ability to pay online, in-app, or in-store. That, more and more you're going to see that. Or payment applications like Quicker that simplify the payment experience for people in, fast food, stadiums, and restaurants, if you will. And now we are kind of, leading the way with wearables. You probably heard that we, have been highly involved, that last month we introduced a new program that will bring MasterCard payments enabled by MasterPass to a wide array of wearables and, consumer products across the automotive industry, the fashion industry, the technology industry, and things that are yet to come that we haven't figured it out yet, but actually we're working, to try to bring those to you. And those include NIMI, that you're going to hear more, which is the heartbeat, wearable. Includes, automaker, General Motors, fashion designers that I don't even know how to, say the name, but, they tell me it's Adam Selman. I never heard about, but the point is kind of, bringing more and more design into it. Jewelry companies, you'll see some rings and stuff like that. And then the Bluetooth locator tracker. So we just kind of, partner with these companies, which also talked about of the nature of our business in terms of partnering up with, people that is bringing innovation and, high technology. So, not to kind of, take a lot of your time, but, just kind of, in conclusion, I think we are, living exciting times. It's a lot of energy going on in our industry. It's an innovation era, if you will. I think we cannot, stand and keep quiet. We need to be, keep innovating and allowing us to focus on empowering consumer choice across all channels, across all devices, as I've mentioned before. That's fundamental. Otherwise, we might kind of, lose our consumers. So our transition in MasterCard as a company, from a payments company into a technology company is kind of, now reflected in all these partnerships that we have formed with you, with many other, partners in actually connecting innovative solutions, which is actually sort of what we're going to be discussing over the next 2 days. I think we'll still, face a lot of challenges ahead of us as we go through this route, but the opportunities are much bigger than, the challenges that we see. And, as if we just think that, roughly 15% of the payments are made with electronic payments, there's a lot for us to grow. And then partnerships, innovation, technology are fundamental and more critical than ever to succeed in this new world. So we as a company made a couple of commitments, which we are, working hard towards them. One of them is our commitment to create smarter cities. So as I was saying, 91% in Latin America of the transactions go through cash, and there's a tremendous opportunity for us to work, make our cities smarter, going from transit systems and any other, ways to make sure that people join the mainstream through financial inclusion and so on, which takes us to our second commitment that we made as a company. We made a commitment that by 2020, we will bring 500 million people to be financially included, along with our partners like you. And 100 million of those 500 million will come from Latin America. So we kind of, need really partnerships with you to go there. And then our, commitment to secure the future. With all this, new world, more touch points, more devices connected, also brings, higher risk factors, if you will. So it's even more important to provide, secure solutions that are convenient and economically viable to all of us in the industry. So we are investing, in the future with our partners and actually aiming for our collective success. This is not just about MasterCard, but it's kind of, investing to make sure that our collective success holds. And it's kind of, with this intention that we put forums like this one, and I really expect that as you leave this forum over the next 2 days, you kind of, take with you a couple of ideas and take with you, a couple of important things that you can work on. And we'll start by saying that we kind of, let's make sure you use technology and innovation to answer this society's, global needs that, we all know are out there. Let's assure that innovation, comes from our markets and comes from us, is not just importing, because I think we are in the region innovating. There's a lot of things coming from our markets that I think we need to take it out. And we should think together how to integrate things that in some moments they appear to be very separate and flourishing here or there. We need to think about connecting them, making them interoperable, therefore they can scale. And then also the concept of co-opetition. I think you've heard it before, and sometimes you kind of saying you partner with some people. Well, the fact of the matter is that, if you want to, create industry-changing innovations, we got to partner sometimes with people that you least expect, eventually even with our competitors. But that's kind of, the concept of co-opetition is an important concept that, I think you got to take away as well. And let's make sure we leverage data. Data is a fantastic asset. We collectively have an astounding amount of data that can be used to better serve our customer needs, to make better solutions for them, to provide them more choice, and so on and so forth. So finally, kind of let's focus. Let's make sure we kind of think differently and we execute kind of these interoperable things that can take us to the future, can engage the digital consumer, can make sure that we provide all these things that we are talking about, choice and control, empowerment, and all of that in a safe and secure way and simpler, right? So once again, thank you for joining us for these next 2 days. As I said at the beginning, that's a very, very powerful room. I think we together can do a lot of transformation in our industry in Latin America, still have a tremendous potential to grow. I strongly believe in Latin America, especially, we are at the infancy of what is to happen, either from getting more electronic payments penetrated into our markets, or kind of moving into the expansion of the digital consumer and continue innovating, bringing more people to our formal system, meaning financial inclusion, and so on and so forth. So thank you very much for joining us, and welcome as we dedicate the next 2 days to this connecting, innovative solutions. And, let's, do it together. Let's make sure we partner. Let's make sure we leverage this opportunity of being together, talk, connect, and take to the future. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the next couple of days.